I am really excited, and I didn't come here for the spotlight. I didn't come here to have more eyes. I came here to win. And I really do think that with the group that we have, that we are going to win. We are going to get a championship sooner.
Sophie Cunningham sits down for her first interview with the Indiana Fever, whose New Jersey has already sold out worldwide. The veteran looks straight into the camera and says, "I think we are going to win a championship when this opportunity came about," which makes Caitlin Clark haters scramble. This isn't just another roster addition. It's a statement. The same Indiana Fever that Cheryl Swoops claimed no one wants to play for have now put together a lineup that includes Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, Natasha Howard, Danana Bonner, and Sydney Olsen. Now that Cunningham, the enforcer, has arrived, and this interview reveals exactly how she plans to help silence the noise around the most watched team in the WNBA. What they were doing, and of course you have Caitlin, who has attracted attention from all over the world, asking, why would I not want to be a part of something amazing? Now, you're going to a team that is going to be a contender for a championship, and I'm really excited for the players, but I'm also excited just for the community, the relationship, and culture that you guys have. Remember when Cheryl Swoops boldly declared that nobody wants to play with Caitlin Clark? Well, that narrative just got shattered into a million pieces. Swoops stood in front of the basketball world and declared with absolute certainty that stars would be fleeing Indiana like it was on fire, as if she had personally pulled every player in the league. What's going on? What crowd? Cheryl Swoops has been missing, and they have a BB out for her. A few months ago, Swoops talked a lot about the Indiana Fever and the locker room environment and how people didn't want to play there and wanted to leave. However, while Swoops was busy making these claims, the Indiana Fever front office was quietly putting together what may be one of the most impressive offseason rosters in recent memory. They didn't just bring in one veteran star, though. They brought in a whole constellation of players, all of whom had significant playoff experience. Natasha Howard, a multi-time champion with defensive prowess, and Danana Bonner contributed her scoring touch. Sydney Colson added depth and experience to the backcourt, and Sophie Cunningham arrived. Came in this offseason with me, and so when I truly see what I can do here, I'm confident in that, but I'm really just excited for the big picture of what everyone brings to this team. When cutting a team against her will, and she wasn't someone who was terrified of playing with a phenom through the screen. This wasn't someone who had been coerced into joining a team against her will, and she wasn't someone who was terrified of playing with the phenom Caitlin Clark. Instead, Cunningham's excitement was evident as she explained why she chose Indiana and the style of play that Stephanie is going to bring here. And it's running gun, it's shooters, it's emotion, and it's offense. My eyes lit up like a Christmas tree, so the style of play particularly excited her, perfectly aligning with her strengths as player. She didn't hesitate or equivocate. She embraced everything about her new team, including for anyone who was paying attention. The chance to play with Clark was the clearest contradiction to his claims. So, outside of Phoenix, I've played emotion my entire life. It was more one-on-one, and if you're open, you're open. When you see Caitlin, you see Aaliyah Boston, who is a great passer. Kelsey Mitchell is a great passer who, if you move and you make the great cut, you're going to get the ball. And I think that just helps everybody, free up. So I like to run, and sometimes I kind of get the name Forrest Gump, and I'm like, hey, if you guys want to call me, that's fine. I'll beat you down the court every time. But I'm really excited for the style of play and what I can contribute to this team. In response, Cunningham's jersey sold out almost immediately after her arrival was announced. This is concrete evidence that not only do players want to join this Indiana revolution, but fans are also excited about these new additions to the Clarkless squad. The most telling moment was when Cunningham addressed her motivation directly. I didn't come here for the spotlight. I didn't come here to have more eyes. I came here to win. In that one statement, she completely disproved the idea that players would avoid Indiana because they didn't want to be overshadowed by Clark, proving that it was a lie. I've already been motivated, like, I know this is a new fresh start. I'm not in the box anymore. And I can finally be free and being in a fence that I feel like I'm back, honestly, and I got a nice tan, which always makes me feel good. However, what Cunningham made clear is that serious players of championship caliber see something developing in Indiana. They see a young superstar with generational talent. They see Aaliyah Boston growing into a dominant force. They see Kelsey Mitchell's scoring ability. They see Lexi Hall's hustle. And they see an opportunity to create something special. This wasn't a reluctant arrival. It was an accomplished veteran player who was excited about Indiana, praising her new teammate and boldly stating championship expectations in her very first interview. More perfect reputation of Swoops claims, if you tried. I'm from the Midwest. Huge, refreshed, motivated, and like my spark is back. Everyone thinks I've been feisty. I'm excited to inspire the next generation of young boys and girls around here to get a When Cunningham talks about Indiana, she doesn't sound like someone who was forced to join against her will. Rather, she sounds like someone who has found her basketball home, a place where her skills, personality, and championship ambitions all align perfectly. The Chicago Sky Kennedy Carter incident was just the beginning of what turned out to be an open season on the league's best player in Clark. I mean, that's obviously a foul that was called unnecessary. During her rookie campaign, Clark repeatedly picked herself up off the hardwood after hard fouls, flagrant contact, and unnecessary physicality. The opponents soon realized that there was no enforcer stepping in to make them pay for targeting Indiana's franchise player. The Fever roster was full of young talent but lacked veteran muscle, so they could only watch as their superstar weathered collision after collision. Collision. I'm a little bit sassy at times, but I love my teammates and always love them. To be honest, I spread the court like I can shoot the ball. And when you have quick, great passers like Kelsey Mitchell, it lets them do their thing. Then the defense comes in, and you're just ready to shoot. So, I think I'll bring a lot to this team, but at the end of the day, I want to be a good leader. I want to be a great teammate. I want to bring the culture piece and make sure that we're all in it to win. That's exactly what Clark has been missing, though. Because Sophie Cunningham isn't just coming to Indiana to shoot threes. She's bringing her reputation as one of the league's fiercest competitors who won't hesitate to get in someone's face. Sophie's description of herself as sassy on the court is a mild way of saying that opposing players know exactly what they're getting. I'm just excited to maybe be that calm piece when it needs to be calm. That feisty, sassy stick up for my teammates when it needs to be that. Cunningham stated in her first Indiana interview that I'm a fierce competitor. I want to win, and I hate to lose that mindset transforms the team from an exciting but pushover team into one that opponents will be reluctant to mess with when it comes to being. I'm spicy. I'm fiery. I'm the ultimate competitor, and I'm really just trying to do whatever it takes for me to win. When you ask a teammate who may have had opinions about me in the past about how much we love him, I'm like, duh, I'm not a mean person, but you know what I mean? And I'm gonna hit my threes, I'm gonna do all that. However, from a young age, my parents instilled in me the belief that I should be the hardest worker and not let anyone outwork me. They also told me to enjoy playing games and to yell if you want to be passionate. What makes Cunningham such a perfect Clark protector isn't just her willingness to defend teammates, it's her relentless motor. She was given the nickname Forrest Gump because she outworked and literally outrun opponents on both ends of the court. When Clark is running the break, Cunningham will be right there to challenge anyone who tries to obstruct her. Fever's offensive engine. I learned so much out in Phoenix, and I was really fortunate to have some really great teammates. You get to learn from the GOAT, Diana Taurasi, and during her time in Phoenix, Cunningham learned about toughness, which is something that can't be taught in practice drills. Taurasi showed Sophie that championship mentality requires more than just skill. It demands an edge and the willingness to do whatever it takes to win, even if that means getting under an opponent's skin or taking a hard foul to send a message. People say I'm 3-and-D, and I've never really considered myself a defensive player, but I think the past couple of years, I've been able to get my body right, bang down low, and hold my own. And so I just think that when you have players who are versatile on both the offensive and defensive ends, that's where you win your championships. That's where you make a statement. And so I'm excited to kind of get down and start working hard on the defensive end. I think that as a team, we all have to kind of have that mentality, especially if we're trying to get to where we want to go. Cunningham's defensive versatility is what really makes her stand out. At 6'1" with quick feet and a strong basketball IQ, she can legitimately guard positions 1 through 4. This gives Indiana's defense a lot of advantages, allowing them to switch freely without creating mismatches when opponents try to set screens to hunt Clark on defense. And Cunningham can take the more dangerous assignment without causing Clark any problems. The Fever's front office didn't just add shooting when they acquired Cunningham. They addressed their biggest vulnerability from the previous season. The days of teams freely taking runs at Clark are over, and the first time an opponent delivers a cheap shot this season, they'll be facing a player who has made a career out of not backing down from anyone. It's funny to me that people say, oh, she can play some defense, but I think that's an area where I could actually improve. Sophie Cunningham's incisive remarks about feeling free in Indiana. I can finally be free and be in an offense that I think I can really thrive in. Reveal a deeper story that no one has been talking about. She wasn't just talking about basketball systems. She was also revealing what appears to be a fractured Phoenix Mercury locker room that had been holding her back. I promise you that I'm just ready to win. I'm ready to win. I'm ready for you all to be there. But like I said, you guys haven't even seen feisty yet. Reading between the lines, Sophie paints a picture of a Phoenix team preoccupied with off-court drama and personal agendas rather than championship aspirations. It's a younger group, so to me, that's refreshing. And now you just have to put all the puzzle pieces together, but you need someone to do that. Also not old, so I'm kind of in that middle group. Still have a lot to learn, and I want to be a sponge. I want to keep learning and developing, but I also believe that Diana took me under her wing. Who better to teach you the ropes in the W than Diana Teresi? Knowing what I've been taught, I kind of want to share it with others, especially given how talented this group is. Sophie's value to the Fever isn't just her toughness, it's the championship mindset she absorbed while playing with Diana Teresi. I want to be a good leader and a great teammate. And I want to bring the culture piece. Sophie explained in her interview that she's not just bringing jump shots to Indiana. She's in the winning mentality that turned the Mercury into perennial contenders. It's important to have those relationships with your coaching staff, but also with every single teammate. You don't have to be best friends, but you have to have each other's backs and you have to get along. I think that's something that I love because we're going to win games, we're going to lose games. Hopefully not too many, but you're going to remember these kinds of moments. Get that chemistry off the court and know your teammates, what makes them tick and what doesn't. Sophie's vision for Indiana's team environment, where relationships matter and egos don't, is exactly what the young Fever squad needs. She's essentially bringing a blueprint for success that's been battle-tested at the highest levels of the WNBA. Q. There are more eyes on the W than ever before, and I believe that this team has more fans worldwide than any other team in the entire world. I think we should embrace it while also making sure that we stay close. I'm a big culture and relationship kind of person, so I think there will be a lot of noise, but if this locker room culture can be good, I think we'll be okay. Is that Sophie brings media savvy that goes beyond the court. Her background as a Phoenix Suns analyst has made her comfortable in front of cameras and engages with media, which are crucial skills in today's sports landscape, where visibility drives opportunity. This background makes her especially valuable to a Fever organization looking to maximize its newfound spotlight. How valuable is that experience that you bring? If you don't have, perhaps most importantly, Sophie brings playoff wisdom to a team eager for postseason success with 15 playoff games under her belt, including a finals appearance. Sophie made it clear in her interview that They were smart to bring in experienced people who know that we have the firepower to get there, but now you need the experience, the knowledge, and sometimes just the calmness of how to kind of adjust through playoffs and the mindset. Because it's a different beast. You can have a great regular season, but when it comes to playoffs, it's just a shift, right? If you've never been there, you're unaware of the leadership lessons Cunningham learned from Teresi, who is widely regarded as one of the fiercest competitors in women's basketball history. History. When you guys were here last year, Sophie was talking about winning and how you would be a great fit for what the Fever is building and the type of player that they need. I'm sure you see it that way. Sophie is also promoting the daily habits, mental toughness, and unwavering standards that championship teams require by prioritizing basketball focus and eliminating drama. In addition to her physical presence to protect her teammates, Sophie Cunningham's toughness has been the headline, and her elite shooting may be the true game changer for Indiana's offensive. When you look at this roster from a perimeter shooting perspective, you can see that there are real weapons in place to be dominant around the three-point line. Of course, Caitlin, Kelsey Mitchell, and Donata Bonner. I mean, whenever you can get more teammates to be able to shoot the ball at a high percentage from the three-point line, defenses don't know what to do, because if you come out on us, we're also going to go right by you. I'm just excited to get started, but I do think that's why we're drawing attention. It's fun that we're both here now because Natasha Howard has been talking to her about being teammates for a few years. I believe she brings a very versatile four who can also shoot the three ball. Remember those frustrating moments last season when defenses collapsed 3 or even 4 players around Caitlin Clark? When the ball swung to the perimeter, except for Lexi Hull and Kelsey Mitchell, the Fever just didn't have enough reliable threats to make. That's where Sophie comes in, as she averaged 12 points in her 2022 campaign. Any team that has players 1 through 5 who can get the ball and go, I think that's just fantastic. If you can't let the defense set up, you let Caitlin get off the ball a little bit. She scored 6 points while shooting a scorching 40% from downtown, earning her recognition as the most improved player. And go do her thing as a 2-man DB bringing the ball up, which is going to cause a lot of problems with her height and the way she shoots the ball. So if I understand, we're going to be running and gunning, and I know that your whole roster can do that. Our depth is crazy this year, and I think that's why people are really focusing on us more. I say us, and it's the first time as a Fee, and Sophie herself couldn't contain her excitement when talking about the Fever's playing style. This is just a new style that I thrive in. I'm glad I've experienced that because for Clark, having players who can shoot the ball, move the ball, run gunners, and share the ball means that defenders can't sag off their assignments to double team her, creating cleaner passing lanes and driving opportunities. For Kelsey Mitchell, it means another proven shooter to relieve pressure on her as the team's primary perimeter scoring option. I know it was a big deal to be in the playoffs and make a deep playoff run, but now that you know you need that kind of stuff, I keep saying that because it's just the truth. The more we can invest in the rookies, those who haven't been there, and other players, the better, in my opinion. Imagine the worst case scenario for opposing defenses. Clark driving and kicking to Cunningham, spotting up in the corner Boston, establishing deep post position as the defense tries to recover. And Mitchell ready to attack closeouts on the weak side. Additionally, don't forget the team's versatility with Natasha Howard, Donata Bonner, and Lexi Hull, always ready to get you buckets and defensive stops. Finally, when these complementary pieces come together, the analytics confirm what the eye test suggests. When you pair an elite passer like Clark with an elite three-point shooter, efficiency skyrockets. The shots that were contested last season suddenly become wide open. The passes that were risky now become. I think it's going to be really cool for the rookies and the younger classmen to really kind of learn how champions work, like what is their mentality, how they're in the weight room and the training room and all that type of stuff. So for me, I'm really excited that me and DB are back being teammates. As I mentioned earlier, we've been texting a lot. We're both excited to get up here, and honestly, I think we're going to enjoy where we're at in our careers. We're looking forward to turning heads in the league where we won a championship. I know she's getting older, so I know she wants it. win my first one. And I know the other people around us want one too. So I just think that where everyone's minds are in a really good spot. Sophie Cunningham's statement that I came here to win. We are going to win a championship sooner rather than later isn't just confident talk. It's a statement that forever burying the anti-indie narrative while Cheryl Swoops and other critics were busy crafting their... Like fantasy, the Fever was quietly putting together what might become the next dynasty of the WNBA. The transformation is complete. What started as a rebuilding project around a rookie phenom has evolved into a legitimate contender with championship DNA flowing through its veins. Veterans who've been there, young stars reaching there. The WNBA landscape has changed. And teams are now wondering how. They'll stop this newly formed powerhouse instead of whether Clark can succeed. As Sophie declared in her very first team interview that championship isn't some distant dream. It's coming and coming soon. Who would dare doubt it? Now let us know how excited you are in the comments section. Like and subscribe. Turn on all notifications so you never miss it. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one. Well, I'm in a newfound edge personified by Cunningham's arrival in Indiana.